All right, so let's take a look at all about circles, locking in on the conic section called circles. You know what a circle is, right? Okay, so a circle is the set of all points in a plane that are a fixed distance called the radius from a fixed point, which is called the center. Okay, so equation of a circle in general, okay, so you have HK, we call it the center. Notice that when you actually write it in the equation, you go opposite, you write negative even though it's positive, okay, and vice versa. So for example, if we wanted to write the equation of a circle with a center at 5 comma negative 2 and a radius of 8, okay, given that our equation is x minus h the quantity squared plus y minus k the quantity squared equals radius squared. Okay, well if we insert all the numbers, you can see that it's positive 5, so we're going to write negative 5 in the parentheses with the x, okay? We're going to write a plus 2 because it's minus a minus, and then we square the radius, leaving us with 64. And then, of course, this one would kind of look like this, okay? 5, negative 2 is the center, and then 8 units all the way around. This is what the graph would look like, okay? So more examples. What if it's centered at 0, 0 with a radius of 6? What would that equation look like? Well, the h and the k are zeros, so essentially you can just kind of get rid of them because y minus 0 is just y, right? So it's x squared plus y squared equals 6 squared, which is 36. Equation would look like this. 6 units all the way around, centered right there at the origin. Okay, what about one that's centered at 2, 4, and it has the point that's on the edge? There's a point at 8, 12. Well, let's go ahead and use the distance formula to figure out how far it is from 2, 4 to 8, 12, because that's going to tell us what the radius is. And when we go ahead and do that, it looks like the radius is 10. And then we can go ahead and write in our equation. It's x minus 2 the quantity squared plus y minus 4 the quantity squared equals 100. Okay, another example. Okay, find the standard form for each equation by completing the square. Okay, so we know that this is a circle because we have an x squared and a y squared. They're both positive. They both have ones out in front. So what we're going to want to do is kind of organize the problem. So get all the x's together, y's together, constant to the other side of the equal sign. And then we're going to set it up to complete the square twice. So we're going to take the 8, okay, in front of the 8x there, divide it by 2n squared, and that's what goes in the blank for the x's. And for the y, we're going to look at that negative 10 divided by 2, that's negative 5. Negative 5 squared is positive 25, and go ahead and add that in the blanks. Now we're going to go ahead and factor our x terms and factor our y terms, and there we are, we land, and then collect all those constants on the right side. So we've got a circle centered at negative 4, positive 5, with a radius of 7, okay, because the square root of 49 is 7, and it would look like this. Okay, so here we go. Here goes our wee problem. Okay, let's see if you can do it yourself. Okay, but here's what it's should look like. Right, so we're going to get the x squared, then the single x, then the y squared, then the single y. Any constants move to the other side. In this case, there is no constants. Okay, now on this one, because there's a 9 out in front of both the x squared and the y squared, what we're going to want to do is go ahead and factor it out and then complete the square. Now, when we complete the square here, we're going to take the 6, for example, for the x's, divide by 2n squared. It's a 9 that goes in the blank, but then you have to multiply the 9 times the 9 that's out in front of the parentheses, so 81 goes in the blank on the other side, okay? And then we'll take the negative 2 that's out in front of the y, divide it by 2n squared, that's 1. 1 times 9, though, is 9. That's what gets added to the other side of the equal sign. Okay, then we go ahead and factor our x's and our y's, and then we're just going to want to clear those 9's that are out in front of our parentheses. So we'll just divide every term in the equation by 9, and we'll get to our equation. So we have a circle centered at negative 3, positive 1, with a radius of square root 10, which is about 3.3 approximately. Okay, and there you have it. Okay, so go ahead and try this UL problem. Go ahead and pause it, give it a shot. Okay, and if you did it correctly, you should be getting this. All right, good luck, get to the practice.